Hello, citizens of YouTube land. I said
You're doing it,
you
so
said you.
okay.
You're supposed
It's
to.
your president and your VP, and he's getting our Santa hats here. Sorry, guys. Okay, that's better.
Yep.
And we're back with another installment of the 12 Days of Christmas-a-thon. This time it's
Scooby Doo Haunted Holidays. Released on October 16th, 2012. This was directed by Victor Cook and written by Michael F. Ryan. The runtime is about 22 minutes, so it's going to be pretty short here. It was released as part of a collection called Holiday Haunts. And the one was aired later that year on December 6th. So it did, in fact, get a December release, Dad, but on television.
Well, I call boo because it should have been a world premiere in December. I mean, if you're going to do a Christmas story, a Scooby Doo Christmas story, you should release it in December. But my esteemed colleague here slash son, he said that in fact all Scooby-Doo media is released in October. So
yeah, it doesn't matter what the theme is. It can be Christmas, or it can be Halloween, or it could be whatever they're doing at the time. It will always be released in October.
So take it away.
So the story starts off with the Mitchell. Is that what it was called? Mitchells, right? Middlegans? I don't know. I can't remember. It starts off with the
Minkles.
Minkles, thank you. Starts off with the Minkles Christmas Parade because they couldn't use Macy's, obviously. And it starts off with the Minkles Christmas Parade as they are like Fred, Daphne, Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy, all voiced by Frank Welker, Minnie Cohn, Grey Delisle, and Matthew Lillard, respectively, are all helping out with the Christmas parade, right? But the guy who happens to be the head of the store says that it's basically that it's the worst Christmas yet, and he doesn't deserve the success, right? And so one guy, I forgot his name. It's the nephew of the old bitter dude in a way. He's like, oh, you don't mind my uncle. He's a little on edge due to declining sales in the toy store. And, yeah. But all of a sudden, a snowman appears, right? But it's not any snowman. It's a sinister snowman.
And that sinister snowman, he's pretty sinister, but he's not as sinister as this guy.
Yeah, this guy is pretty sinister, by the way.
And we'll get to him later, too.
Yeah. We get introduced to the sinister snowman, and he just kind of causes chaos right there with the blizzard, which turns out is an artificial blizzard, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So, and then he freezes Scooby Doo, right?
Yeah.
Just straight up freezes Scooby Doo. So he basically books Shaggy basically books Scooby Doo into the toy store.
And guys, does Scooby Doo have hypothermia as a result of being trapped in a block of ice? Of course not.
It's Scooby Doo. Duh. So yeah, all this starts to happen, and then like the only person who is unaccounted for at this Christmas parade was the old bitter dude from the beginning. So they go up and see him, but he's like, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" As shown here, of course.
Yes, Mr. Mankle, we'd like to ask a few questions.
Get out! Get out! Don't, I say, get out!
Yeah,
sure.
he's just like that, you know? And so they're like, okay, he wants us to get out. So they go across the street to investigate, because then they learn of the legend of the sinister snowman, which happens to be Vladimir. I forgot his name. That's going to be his new nickname now. Vladimir, I forgot his name. So they learn about him and how apparently he hated the city developing around him. But then he saw this giant toy store with this glockenspiel that doesn't work anymore now. And so he becomes full of hate and turns into the sinister snowman himself. and like freezes the glockenspiel, and that happened like 20 years ago. And now
he just disappears too. The snowman disappears.
The Sinister Snowman disappears, and now he's back 20 years later. And so but before that, we see this old Santa dude who's playing Santa, and he's like, "Man, I hate Christmas. I have to stand there on that parade float and wave to the kids all day long." And so he like goes out and he explicitly screams in terror as something bad happens to him. They don't show it, so we're not going to say he sleeps with the fishes or not, because he doesn't, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So that happens. And so they're off investigating, and then they all go their separate ways. And then like Fred somehow has like telekinetic powers or telepathy, because he somehow overhears Shaggy and Scooby talking about food.
Who are in the basement, mind you. So now Fred has telepathic powers.
And he even like before they even enter, he's like, "Glasses girl to Ascot boy, there's no snowman inside. I repeat, there's no snowman inside." And then Velma's like, "Fred, we're right here."
She is just totally done with this BS. Shown here.
This is Ascot 1. Yard is clear. Repeat, no sinister snowman in sight. You read me, Glasses girl?
Fred, we're standing right here.
Yeah, it's really funny, actually. It got my dad to laugh a lot, actually.
Yeah, and so also, Fred, Daphne, and Velma also have resistance to freezing to death as well, because they get trapped in a block of ice.
Yep.
And then they just conveniently just get out of it.
So before that happens, before they get out of it, right? The Sinister Snowman winds up in the main part of the department store, right? Trying to chase Shaggy and Scooby, and then they run into Santa Claus, right? And they're like, "Dude, what are you doing back in here? Shouldn't you be out there somewhere?" He's like, "Well, I'm in Santa's village after all."
Yeah, and so Santa Claus, he's like, "Oh, and also I came back because the toy store kind of needs a little help."
And he's like, "Needs a little help?" You can say that again. He's like, "Oh yeah, this definitely needs a lot of help," as he's looking at the Sinister Snowman. So they start running, and Scooby kind of just stumbles and fumbles away across the aisle. And so Santa Claus like gives Shaggy a toy car. He's like, "Here, Norval, save your friend."
Yeah, just straight up calls him that. And so then Santa Claus gets the glockenspiel thingy to working again.
Because get it? He makes toys, because this is the real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Guys.
And then because the glockenspiel is back to working again, that the snowman, he is following him. And then one of the elves bonks the snowman on the head. And that's how he gets defeated. Scooby and Shaggy literally defeat him by sheer luck.
Yep. And so then we see who actually the Sinister Snowman is. And it turns out to be the nephew of the old bitter dude, who's actually not so old and bitter anymore, because he's like, I knew it was you, because there had been money being taken out to finance this charade.
Yeah, and it turns out, because as usual, the nephew just wants to like take over and sell the toy store for money. And he's like, "I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling mystery solvers
and your Christmas crazy dog."
That's not the line,
guys. That's not the line. It's, "I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your dumb dog."
So, anyways, guys, my final rating for it, I had a blast watching it. I give it 4 out of 5. What say you?
I give it a 5 out of 5.
So, a rare kind of a disagreement here, but that's okay. For an average, though, of 4.5 out of 5. So, but as always, guys, if you have seen Scooby Doo Haunted Holidays and you believe that it is the worst Scooby Doo media of all time, then clearly you've never seen that, which you should go back and watch our review.
What was that?
I don't know.
It came back, guys.
But you should go back and watch our review about that.
About what? We didn't say it because the thing
I am
came
clearly
back.
losing my mind right now. So, anyways, guys, next up, it's going to be, what is it next time?
A Muppets Christmas Carol.
A Muppets Christmas Carol. So we'll see you guys for the next one, which is going to be a Muppets Christmas Carol. And until then, because we got to kind of speed this up because he's going to have to go off to work soon. Until then, there's only one thing left to say, and that is
Peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.